Yeah. What is going on, team? Just wanted to jump on real quick to kind of express how I am going to do this from now on. Um, I feel like I am getting a lot of trades in, which is good. But I remember we talked about on Sunday about how they were not A plus. I constantly felt myself taking a good trade at first, and then the rest would just be fucking horrible. Um, because we'll just start to trade anything, right? So I'm just like, okay, this isn't really efficient when it comes to, yeah, we're getting data, but are we getting efficient data on the way we trade, right? So yesterday I did some brainstorming and actually thought about this while I was at work, but I came home and I thought about it more about how I can be more efficient when it comes to my back testing. So the best way to do it is if I simulate what I am going to do in um what I'm going to do in real life, right? So in real life, I'll take one trade per day and that's it. And different conditions, right? So with different conditions, rather than trading the same charts over and over again, if I put myself in different situations constantly, I'm able to adapt to different types of markets and kind of um and kind of how do I put this? Yeah, I'm able to adapt to different types of markets and how I can go about it when it comes to trading those different markets. So yeah, I just wanted to go over a trade that I took yesterday, um, kind of following this process. As you guys can see, 15 minute, because we are sticking to the 15-minute time frame, right? Um, as you can see in the 4 hour, we actually our current structure is actually bearish, internally, I would say. As you guys can see here, we are actually bullish on the 4 hour, but internally bearish on the 4 hour as well. So it's something that um, I take into account when it comes to taking a trade. Oh, sorry. Um, it's something that I have kept in the back of my mind when trading. But again, with our 15-minute structure marks on our external breaks, we're able to be more consistent with our market structure as well. Because on the 5 minute, price is constantly breaking structure. Um, so that's why I bring across my point the other time, right, when we talked about how price we talked about how price can we talked about how price can be really manipulative on the lower time frames. Um, and that's why we made that rule of sticking to the higher time frame. Um, but yeah, I just want to go over some of the trades. Oh no, just this is a trade I took following the idea of just taking this one trade a day. As you guys can see, the accounts on drawdown after just taking trades and trades and trades and trades and trades. But I feel like it's not very efficient. So um, if I'm taking one trade a day, different session, right, and using that hour to find an A plus setup, right, and if we don't find a trade within that hour, then no trade, right? So it's basically the same thing as what I was doing before, um, which was trading on a live account, but also um, yeah, trading on a live account, but we're doing it while backtesting. That way we're able to simulate. That way we're able to stick to our rules as well as gathering data, right? So we get into the routine of taking that one trade a day, right? And then we gather, right? Because that way I'm able to talk to you guys as well as the trades I took and why I took them. And the second reason being that it keeps me in track when it comes to taking A plus sit-ups, right? If I'm thinking this is an A plus sit-up, constantly taking multiple trades a day, right? It's not really A plus sit-up because ideally, you should be finding for that one sit-up for the day and calling it reps. So yeah, I just want to go over the trade I took. So 54-hour time frame, bullish overall. 50-minute time frame external structure. We break this external here, and we actually break this external here. As you guys can see here, we break this low. It was kind of a sus close, but we still consider that a break. We get a retest, we get a sweep of these highs, and price continues to dump, filling in this range here. Same kind of thing, right? Low, high, broke structure, low, high, didn't break structure on this one. But where was our last break of structure? This one here. So where did price come to? Come fill up this zone up here. Right? We fill up the zone up here. Right? We take out these highs. We take out these highs, these highs, these highs, right? And then we get another external break, right? Another break there. And then we actually break external structure because where was our external? From these highs, we had a huge push up. And what was the last low that was put in this high? This low here. We break external. I'm like, okay, cool, that's all good. We start to make a retracement on the 50-minute time frame. So internally, we break this. Internally, we break this. And what do we get? We get another break, which is here. If I can select it. We get another break here. We get a retest into this order block, right? We then go into the 1 minute. We're looking for a form. We're looking for a structure break and a retest to then go long, right? We get a test back into this order block. What was the last kind of high before we put in that low? Before we broke structure, you could say this one here, right? We break it, we get that retest back into this range again, right? And when I see that we start making some moves up, breaking this high, I then entered, stops below this low here. Because if we do break structure, this low is now protected, and ideally price shouldn't even come back down here. But anyways, we look for 1 to 2 on this one. So as you guys can see, the trade ends up playing out. And with that kind of wraps it up on that trade. Nice and simple, simple continuation from and playing on the internal as well as the external, which is something that I'm continuing to backtest. But this video is not over, right? I just want to lock in and write from 10-10, right, to see if we can get a trade in within an hour, right? So let's start a new okay, I need to delete all this. Delete this session. Okay, we'll do 50K. right? We'll do, what's the date today? May 6th. We'll do gold here. Child layout, do that one. I'll randomize it and we'll see where we go from there, right? Hold on, I just gotta text my girl back. 1 second, guys. Oh, okay, we are not gonna do this. This is very early on. This is fucking 2004. We don't want that. We don't want that at all. We do not want that at all. Oh, sorry. May 6th. We'll randomize it and see what we get. We want something like within the last like 10 years, surely. That's something we want. Okay, it's still giving us this bullshit. What the fuck? Let me try that again. Let's try to put a date on it. We'll do we'll do 2015 20th of March to 2016, and we'll just do August. We'll just pick a random day there, and we will create a session. Okay. Let's start out on a higher time frame, right? Let's see what's going on a higher time frame. Okay, so that makes it interesting. Do you have anything to our left? No. So we're pretty much sitting at all-time highs. And we've taken out this low here. We have a break. We have this 4-hour break as well. Oh, we have this 4-hour sweep. This is the last line of defense. This order block here. Unmitigated order block. It's 4-hour. Let's see if we can get a 15-minute break to the upside. So 4-hour breaks. We're bullish. We're bullish. Do we have a break? We do have a break, but it's low-key sus. I think I'll wait for the next break just because we're so bearish on the 15-minute. So following the 4-hour, as you can see, we're still bullish until we close below these lows. Okay, let's go on the 15-minute. Let's see what we can find, yeah. So if we mark the 15-minute external, we can see externally we broke this, broke this, broke this, broke this, broke this. Did we close above here? Yeah, broke this. We then broke this. I'm not sure if I would consider this a break, but But we broke this either way. We broke this. We broke this. And we broke this. And, I mean, and yeah, we can consider this a break. But honestly, it doesn't really matter. If we end up breaking to the upside, right? Doesn't really matter because now we're in the retracement range. So price is currently reacting off this kind of order block here. Let's see if it ends up holding. See if we end up holding here. Let's see. Okay. Get a break. Did we close below that? Okay. Okay, let's see what we do with these lows. Okay, we're taking out these lows now. But we've broke internal structure once again. So let's see if we can get a break to the upside. Let's see. So sweeped out those lows that we'll put in after taking out those 4-hour lows, which is over here. Let's see how we do. Let's see how we do. Okay. Still nothing. 10 minutes in. Still nothing. Sweep those lows once again. Are we looking on the 4-hour? 4 hours still hasn't closed below those lows. Because ideally we are just reacting off this PY here. Okay, we get another external break. We can now kind of play the short here if it's given to us. 4-hour looks very bearish now. Let's see what we do. This is our whole range now. Wouldn't consider this. Wouldn't consider that a break. Let's see. Okay, so knife pushes up, but again, we're still in this range here. Still in this bearish range. See how the 4 hours looking. The 4 hours is still, we're still hanging around those lows. We haven't reacted. We try to get that reaction is what we had here, but you know that structure just ends up playing out. But we will see off we can actually have a look on this to see whether we have our entry model or not, right? So we can get rid of this. Let's see what we have here. Okay, so ideally we need a break. Ideally when you break these lows, get a retracement back up. That's what we need on the 1 minute. So let's see if we get that. Now in that 15-minute gap still. Not that gap, the order block, sorry. See what price wants to do. Okay, swept these highs. Still need a closure below here. So let's see. Okay, we get a break now. Okay, get another break. Still bearish on the 15. Still bearish on the 15. Okay, we get that closure above, so we can get rid of all this. We can then mark our next POI, which is this. Let's see if price gives us that. Let's see if price gives us that. Get rid of this, a new structure now. So let's see what we have. Let's see what we get. So if price breaks above this high, we might end up breaking internal structure to the upside. But again, with this range here, for us to be bullish, we need for us to break these highs. These highs up here. So let's see what we get. Let's see if price wants to give us that. And we won't, like, these little videos I'll be doing, they won't be like, they'll be short. I mean, okay, we get that push in there. And we still have this as well, but this has been mitigated, but we will see how we react, as this is the last line of defense for our 15-minute structure to hold. And we need to invalidate this. Okay. Ideally, we need another break to the upside so our structure can flip. But let's just see how we do at these lows. These lows, sorry. Okay, price is still hanging around. Okay, get a nice break. It looks like a sweep to me. That looks like a sweep to me. Again, because now the 15-minute has turned bullish internally. So, you know, like we are fighting that as well. Got to keep that in mind. Our 5-minute and 15-minute on the internal is bullish. So, let's see. Almost 20 minutes in. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, this is just fucking ugly if you ask me. Holy shit. I'll be convinced if we break these lows, to be honest. Let me just show them this. If we break these lows. Okay, 15 minutes turn internally bearish. So what we can look at is this. We can look for a retracement back up here. But see, what I don't want price doing is, if I can find the fucking tool. What I don't want price doing is this. We get a nice push down. Right, and because we're still in that internal structure, we get a huge price up, huge rip up, taking out these highs, and then that's ideally what the play is. But you know, if we react off the zone, since it's just an internal high, we're still working in this huge range here. So it's kind of like, you know, but again, see, that's why I waited for that break, right? If we get a break down here, because it's like the last 1 minute set of lows was down here before we break that high. So let's see if we can get a closure above these above these highs on the 1 minute time frame, and this would be our new low to break on the 1 minute, unless we get a Yeah, I mean, let's see. 15-minute. Very, very sus. Get a huge like gap here too. Okay, let price fill in that. If price comes out, I'm taking out these highs. We'll pretty much be ready to go short, to be honest. But until then, I'm just gonna sit on my hands. I don't really know. It's very hard to read, especially when we have that gap here as well. This must be like a opening gap or something. Yep, get that huge push up. Okay, swept out these highs now. Swept out these 15-minute highs, still in this bearish structure. External. How's the 4-hour looking? 4-hour close well below those lows, so we just turned bearish. Let's see, let's see. Let us see. Get rid of this now. Taking out these highs. Let's see how we're looking on the 1 minute. What do we need? What do we need? Close above here. Okay, we did get that break. See if we end up respecting these highs. Okay, we don't. That's all right. See to break below these lows. $15-minute external still bearish. We've just flipped on the internal side. Let's see. Okay, we've taken out the last line of defense. Nice reaction, but we still get a break. So now, this 15-minute structure is now invalid. Right? Externally, we are now bullish. Right, we broke this high. Let's just see how we do at this level. These levels. This one here. See how we do here. Still have this gap to fill too. All of this range as well. Okay, break past this level. This level. This one has some potential. So it might have some potential. So last break. Let me just pause it so I can catch up. Boom, boom. Okay. Get a break. We just need a nice retracement now. Ideally, somewhere in the 50% range of this. Let's see. We could honestly look to take this. I'll tell you guys why. Target the next high. We broke external. We had our POIs. I'm not sure whether if this is within equilibrium or not. Let's see. It wasn't, but we have our entry confirmation. And I feel like just because we swept these highs, we're actually starting to look to target these highs, which is the external draw. We get a nice reaction from this 15-minute zone here. Yeah, I'm happy to take this up to these external highs. Let's just see what happens. Let's just see what happens. Okay, I'll move my stop loss up here, down to these lows. Still in that range. Okay. So what went wrong here, right? We took out these highs, and we had a reaction from it. That's all I will say. Ideally, honestly, I should have gone break even. But again, with the external being bullish, turn bullish, we get a nice pullback. External just went bullish. Yeah, I mentioned that before. External went bullish. We took out. No, we're starting to take highs. Right, we closed above these highs up here. And we get our POI, which is here. We get a confirmation out of our POI because we get a break of this high here. We then get a break of these highs. So this would now be our protected low, right? And where can we look to target? We can look to target these highs up here. But I do think I should have gone break even at this level just because of all the stacked liquidity, which is here. And these were the highs. You could say it's semi-protected, but it's definitely a external draw. Internal draws got taken out. This is external. Yeah, like all the some internal draws got taken out. to the sorry. Oh man, I'm so tired. But some internal draws to the downside were taken out, and the upside, so buy side, um, we put in that high, but again, we just weren't able to get that continuation. But again, after taking out majority of these highs, we honestly should have finished flush to these 15-minute highs up here. So I should have accounted for these draws, to be honest, on the 1 minute. I just didn't think that this draw would be enough to actually reverse a trade like this. And I can't complain because ideally sometimes what I've seen happen is that we take out 5-minute draws or something, we get a pullback, and since our structure, the 1 minute structure ends up holding, right? So we end up coming back to break even. Price drops around here, we get a sweep, whatever lows, and then ends up taking out that final draw. So yeah, just unlucky that we weren't able to get that on this trade, which is all right. Again, 4-hour turn bearish. Oh, this makes it interesting. 4-hour turn bearish, but we still had this, and we also had all the way up here too, but I doubt that price is even going to come back up here until like maybe a couple weeks. But yeah, with working with what we had at the time, I could say that the bullishness was still favorable, right? We changed external structure on the 15-minute to bullish. We get that pullback. We get a reaction of our POI confirmed by the 1 minute breaking external structure. We get a pullback. We get a break of these highs once again. We get a break of these highs. So therefore, this is now our protected low. We get a pullback. And yeah, we end up taking it after these highs got taken. We chuff a little bit, get nice displacement. Displacement was to take out these internal highs, but if we continue forward, we can see what happens. We can see. So on the external, we've actually turned bearish, which is why you see some resistance at this area. And price ends up just ripping down to the downside. So again, would have been a loss. But with this external structure, we still had room for this and room for this. And room for this. So honestly, we can honestly use the same session tomorrow and see how we go from there. So yeah. So that'll be kind of the system that I'll be working on. My new efficient system. I'll call it efficient, but I'm not actually sure if it's efficient or not. You guys let me know in the comments, whatever. But yeah, just want to thank you guys so much for watching. I'm gonna go ahead and get some sleep. I got an early start tomorrow morning at work. Gotta get up at 4. But yeah, just want to say God bless you guys. Hope you guys have an amazing night or day wherever you guys are from. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.